said that this is sort of a document or a strategy that visualizes that South Korea will come out of the Korean Peninsula dynamic. What has been the response, domestic response, to the Indo-Pacific strategy? How have the opposition party responded, the academics and others, how have they responded? Is there a consensus on the Indo-Pacific strategy among the major stakeholders, domestic stakeholders?
Overall, domestic response is welcoming. And actually, they expected from a new government, because each new government issues its own vision statement, its new strategy in a sense. However, the most prominent and conspicuous concern overall raised was about China. What does South Korea's Indo-Pacific strategy mean to China? And simply put, South Korea is in a position that wants to find a way to strengthen its alliance with the United States without provoking China. So that is the thinking behind this strategy.
In continuation of what you just said about its relationship with United States, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that the South Korea's Indo-Pacific strategy document reflects our shared commitment to the region's security and growing prosperity. How do you think the Indo-Pacific strategy document will help or will impact the triangular relationship between United States and Japan in the region?
Well, I think you are adding your own analysis in that. And I agree with you that the U.S. immediate interest with the South Korea's this strategy document is that deepening cooperation and coordination in the trilateral security structure that includes Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo. And actually, the document mentions about Japan, but does not talk very much about it. So that's why I think it's important to pay attention to what is written, at the same time, what is not written. I think the current South Korean government is much more ready for the trilateral security cooperation than the previous South Korean government. And the U.S. has been making a great deal of effort to have its two Asian allies to get along better. And I think Washington is making a good progress on this.
A related question to that. On one hand, for South Korea, you have your alliance with United States. On the other, you have this big neighbor in China. What has been the response in China to the Indo-Pacific strategy of South Korea? I mean, how has the Beijing responded, the academics, the media community there? I mean, you have studied China very closely. In fact, you lived there. You know a lot more about China's external engagement. So we would like to know from you what has been the response of the Indo-Pacific, South Korea's Indo-Pacific strategy in China, and what would
right. The official response came from China's foreign ministry, and foreign ministry said, somewhat expectedly, that China opposes exclusive small grouping and hopes the South Korea's Indo-Pacific strategy to contribute to global peace. So obviously, this it shows us China is not too excited about it, because it shows that South Korea is getting close to the side of the United States. Also, that means that away from China in a sense. And I think your bigger question is also important, that, and we can talk about South Korea-China relation for hours on this session, but given the time constraint, let me share with you what I think is the larger picture in my own style. And I think that South Korea-China relations are at a crossroads. Let me explain. The deep economic complementarity that previously characterized the close South Korea-China relations is no longer there. Accusations of cultural and historical appropriation have significantly undermined confidence between the two civil societies, and the anti-China sentiment among South Koreans has been unprecedentedly high since the THAAD dispute, especially among young South Koreans, a sense of incompatibility with China's political system is widening. In the security realm, South Korea's high hopes for China to render a constructive role in containing North Korea's nuclear and missile belligerence are becoming less tenable. And as China regards the United States, not North Korea, as a bigger existential threat. So, and on top of that, the U.S. China rivalry is going to severely constrain South Korea's choices, including semiconductor supply chains, and while posing fresh challenges such as tension building in the Taiwan Strait. The Indo-Pacific strategy document says, we are not alienating China. It mentions that China as a major cooperation partner, but it doesn't mention what South Korea will do when cooperation with the United States becomes incompatible with cooperating with China.